Any fancy intros. Don't have time for that tonight. Phone's already freezing. Here we go. Refresh, refresh. There we go. Now I can share it all around. Let's see, start this out. Good to go. Another tournament coming up, gentlemen. Here we are, final night of our pre-coverage of Atlantic City. It's going to be a really awesome weekend ahead for flag football, for nine man, for all you guys out there watching. This is going to be legit. It's going to be lit. You know it. I'm looking forward to all of it. What do you think, Ross?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh, yeah.
What do you think, Dame?
I think Atlantic City is going to be big time. I think it's actually going to be bigger than it has been in the past with just the date of the tournament being pushed back a little bit, it being a little bit warmer out there. It's going to be nice weather. It looks like it's a good slate of teams, A and B. I think Atlantic City is going to be a little bit of that Virginia Beach type feel. The fact that Jamie done got all these fields together and shit, it's gonna have that summertime national type feel where everybody gonna be able to walk around and watch games. So I think Atlantic City gonna really be a show this weekend.
I agree 100%. It is going to be a movie out there for sure. But let's take a look at my recent A rankings. I only have 5 ranked due to the fact that we have about, in my eyes so far, 9 A teams established on the circuit. Let's go ahead and pull that up. This is my top 5 ranked right now. Starting at number 5, it is the Misfits, 6-3 out of the Owings Mills Flag Football League. Go back to their performance at Ocean City. They blew out the Elite Rebels early on, 41-20. Dame, you played with Chris Boone for a while. Do you remember him putting up 41 in a circuit game?
Nah, I don't. I do not. Off the top of my head, nah. Yeah, nah. They that whole weekend they was putting up points, to be honest, until that shit happened with the Lions. They was putting up points the whole weekend. Misfits look solid for real, for real.
I agree 100%. They were doing really well. The first Lions game, that game was 14-0 entering the fourth quarter. It really wasn't that much of a blowout until the 3 pick sixes in that quarter that led to the loss in the end. Prior to that, they had held their own in that game. The second Lions game you mentioned, they had held their own. But you look at what they've done locally. This is a team that has gone out there. They've beaten the No Mercy Scorpions twice now. Once in Ocean City on day 2, once in OMFFL. They have gone out. They've beaten Rideout. You were there, Dame, against this Misfits team, playing against them about a few weeks ago. The comeback. What were your impressions of that Misfits squad watching them that day?
Yeah, Rideout was up. I think it was 18-6, 18-7, something. They was up 2 scores, I believe, or maybe it was 1 score. But with a team like Misfits, when you up, you gotta step on their throat. Them motherfuckers get energy like that. And when they get that energy and everybody, the whole sideline, you'll see it. Them motherfuckers feed off each other. And it's different. Not a lot of teams have that because not a lot of teams are like had that real brotherhood. They could say that shit, but that's not the case. So
Yeah. And this team certainly has shown a lot of resiliency, a lot of brotherhood, a lot of faith in each other. This is a Misfits squad that has a very bright future and a very good present going on right now. and they're looking to overcome past stereotypes about teams from this region. It's always been said teams in the fourth state, they can't compete, they can't play on this level of the circuit. Dame, you yourself, you went through the challenges with Adrenaline Rush. A lot of people discount the fact that you guys had to make a long trip to all these tournaments. You all were coming from that Northern Virginia, Southern West Virginia border on 81 and traveling very far for a lot of these, sometimes of 11 to 15 guys. Reflecting back on it now, looking at what this Misfits team has, how do you think this team will go in the long run? Because, overall, I consider ADR to be the most successful A team in the history of the four state by far. The only team from the four
Uh,
state with an A chip.
yeah, I believe that the Misfits can surpass that. If I'm keeping it 100, I think that the way Regan's running things over there and the way the ADR, everybody knows I talk my shit. Sometimes I made some enemies. Sometimes it was a little harder for me to pick up guys from our hometown leagues just because some of the shit that I said to them, they took it personally. So there was grudges held and shit like that. Regan runs his shit more like a business. He's not gonna poke at that bear type of shit. He's not gonna have you upset, all this shit. He's sort of, I wouldn't say a friend all. He's not like that whole like friendly fake in your face type of shit. He just shows his respect and love for all. And due to that, he's now pulling from DC, Baltimore, York, PA, like the out here in Washington County, like he's literally pulling from everywhere. I believe with that, if they can stick together, because what they're gonna probably find out this weekend, this A-ball shit is for real. You're gonna have your ups and downs, and if they stick together, and I mean like stick together with the whole core they got, that means Chris Boone and all those guys that have moved from ADR to Showtime to Misfits, like that core. If they stick with John Regan and shit, I think Misfits can surpass what ADR did. Um, it's going honestly, it's just gonna take some time. I think this weekend they're gonna surprise some teams. Definitely think they're loaded. They don't have a problem ADR had. ADR couldn't get, like when we went out there in Virginia Beach and we beat the likes of the Lions and the SI Bulldogs, we probably was out there with 18, 20 guys. I ain't never seen Misfits sideline not have at least 25 to 30. So just that alone, the potential is there. They just gotta stay together. They gotta keep that brotherhood. They got, you know what I mean? It's Misfits versus everybody. Fuck your team. Fuck everybody else. You gotta keep that. You gotta keep that swag. Keep that shit going. And I see them knocking off some of these big teams here sooner than later.
I think the future is bright for this franchise, especially after what we saw over the weekend at AFFL. We had covered them for that second game on Saturday. That thrilling finish against the USA Legends. That core group in there, they just always know how to come out there and play. And some of those guys from that team at AFFL last week will be there. A good amount of them come this weekend. So we'll see how the Misfits do. Let's moving on now to the number 4 team I have in my A rankings, my own personal, just my opinion, A rankings. It's the Lions, 9-1-1 out of the GCFFA. That lone loss being to the Strong Island Bulldogs in the Ocean City A Championship. What a thrilling finish. Give a shout out, Craig the Leg Peterson. He's getting a lot of press lately for being on the Albany Empire up there in the Arena League. He had the game-winning field goal. Big shout out to him. Has my favorite moment of Blunt Talk, probably top 5 of all time. But you look back at what happened. It was a tight loss there at the end. Lions were up by 9. They were up by 9. They had the game in hand. And then the 4th and 20 conversion, the game-winning field goal, SI with the win. Rob Lane on the comeback late. you got to give credit to the Bulldogs. But this Lions team, that's it. That's our only loss for the year. We've seen what they can do. They went out there and they beat Misfits up 34-0 toward the end of that first game. They poured it on in that fourth quarter defensively. They went out there, though. They had a tough game, though, with Elite Rebels. Elite Rebels came out to play. They're not ranked in the current rankings, but if they were, they'd be a close number 6 because the Elite Rebels came out and balled in Ocean City. That Lions game, unfortunately, not live streamed, but it was a classic 35-34. Lions won at the end over the Rebels. That was also one of the closest times that they've been to being knocked off this year. Like, that just shows you how good this Lions team is. Come day 2 in Ocean City, beat the Misfits by 23 before falling out to Strong Island. Overall, they play great ball. They're always in the thick of things. They're always the semifinalists. They're always top 4. There's a good chance they'll be in the chip. Looking forward to seeing what they do this weekend. We'll see how they do against their schedule in a little bit. Going up there is Strong Island Bulldogs, 7-1. I actually think their lone loss is to the Lions as well. So I think both teams, I might be wrong on that. If so, correct me in the comments. Feel free. I don't have the full schedule on me. I just have a memory of it. Bulldogs 7-1 on the year. That lone loss, I believe, to the Lions. Winner in Ocean City. They went out day 1, beat Dream, I believe, and the No Mercy Scorpions. Day 2, however, they had a bit of a struggle with Dream early on. Dream is one of those teams who I feel like in A is going to grow very fast. They have a lot of young players on that team. I think the average age I was told was 22 with that squad. And they gave a great performance in Ocean City against the SI Bulldogs. That'll be a rematch coming up this weekend. Looking forward to that one. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But Bulldogs, the rest of the way, they blew out the Rebels. They had no issues in that game. Come championship, we talked about the comeback. SI overall, I've been saying they were number 3 after Nationals. There are some people who disagree with me, but I feel like they are firmly the 3rd best team in the country and could be more. I'm not sure what the quarterback situation is this weekend. I don't really have much knowledge of what's going on up there, but is it possible Birdman might be back? Even then, I feel like they're in good hands because this is a team that plays great team ball overall. Number 2 is Punishers, 4-1. GCFFA, they didn't play Ocean City. I consider that a bit of a bye week for them. And, they earned it. They had a really good run in 2020 during the Corona season. They got to the World semifinals against Second Gen. They won Corona Classic 1. They won downstate last year, 9-man. They got to the chip against Main Event. They're 4-1 right now in the GCFFA. Punishers, they always give it out there. They always play tough, always play hard. Dame, you recall Punishers the last time you faced them at Worlds. Your impressions of the Punishers?
Honestly, Punishers have had our number. I'm gonna keep it honest with you. Like, the defense has gave Boone fits. We played them, I think, twice in nationals. First time we played them in nationals a couple years ago, or 3 years ago, 2, 3, something like that. They got out early, forced some turnovers. I feel like it was 20-0 out the gate. We came back, made a little closer game in the second half, but then not last year, but the year after that, in Worlds, sort of the same thing happened. They know that defense knows how to take the ball away, and that D-line is serious. They get after it.
Y'all watch Jared Foster.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So Punishers, they I don't know why they really haven't found too much success towards like at the top, but they handle their business. It's definitely one of the top. You think about 4 teams on the circuit and A-ball that sort of run things, and Punishers are definitely one of them top 4 teams.
Facts. And number 1, of course, Main Event. They are the defending national champion. 0-0 right now. They're not playing in a 9-man league currently. They didn't play at Ocean City either. They've been getting work in other styles and other places. But they'll come locked and ready to go come out Atlantic City. Sorry, I keep thinking Ocean City. Um, can't really say much about where they are right now. This was a team that last year or last tournament they were in was Nationals. They had a tough game with the Bulldogs, 10-10, where they had to rally back after a 10-0 deficit early on. But they proceeded to bounce back in a nice way for the rest of the weekend. Got a win over Aftermath. I think they beat Texas Prime as well. Come day 3 in Nationals, they had a very tough schedule. Who can forget that thrilling game with the High Rollers, the game that Tyler Spencer did? That's on YouTube right now. High Rollers main event. That was a classic. They beat down the Lions, who had been up to that point the best team of the weekend. Beat them by 3 scores. And then in the championship, they gave it to the Punishers as well. Overall, main event, what more needs to be said? Just a hell of a run they've had over the last year. Not just in 9, but in 5s, but in 8s, but in 7s. They are the definitive flag football franchise. And what I think a lot of teams should try to be going for right now in terms of success and direction. So we'll see how they come out in this tournament. Looking forward to it. Let's go ahead and share a different part of the screen real quick. Let me pull that up. Here we go. Prediction time. Let's get to it. First game, we got the Strong Island Bulldogs and Takeover. Bulldogs, we've seen them in action already, so we got an idea what they've done for the year.
Yeah.
Takeover had a very rough national.
Every time we try to walk upstairs,
they basically just had a lot of problems where they couldn't get anything going. It was not a good weekend for Takeover. Lions beat them. The Jerseys had some problems. It was what we call a nightmare kind of weekend. This is their chance to bounce back, though. They're not a bad team. They always play well. They definitely have a chance to make something happen in this tournament. We'll see what they can do for that matchup. Bulldogs Takeover. I'm going to ask you first, Ross. Who do you got in this matchup?
I got Bulldogs.
You got Bulldogs. All right.
Got to.
All right. Perfect. Dame, who do you got?
Honestly, going with this one, I think I'm gonna go with the upset. I'm gonna go ahead and have Takeover pulling out the upset. I don't know the situation the Bulldogs have at quarterback. I know Takeover is gonna come physical, play some ball up front. They got some athletes, so I got Takeover with the upset.
All right, Takeover with the upset. I'm going to go with Bulldogs. Got faith in Strong Island. Next matchup, Bulldogs and Dream. Dame, who do you got? Rematch from Ocean City. Third time they've played in 2 months, actually.
Yep.
I got the Bulldogs. They're not going 0-2. They might slip up against Takeover, but they're not going 0-2.
All right, Dame's got Bulldogs. Ross, who do you got?
I got Dream.
Dream. All right, Ross. Going out on a limb there.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the status quo and stick with SI. 2-0 on the weekend. They're looking to bounce back. 2019 was good to them. 2020, they had their struggles. They were resilient. They fought hard to get to the semis at Nationals. They won Ocean City. This is a squad that they're not going to go 0-2 on Saturday. They're going to be ready to go come Sunday with momentum. Dame, who do you got between Takeover and Dream?
I really want to say Dream because my DMV guys, but I'm gonna go with Takeover. I don't see Takeover. Can't say they're gonna upset Bulldogs and then turn around and lose to Dream. So I got Dream going 0-2 on Saturday.
All right, Dame's got Takeover. Ross, who do you got?
I got Takeover.
Takeover as well. I'm going to go Dream. I'm going to go with the local guys. I think the youngsters get out there. They get that big win. They'll be ready to go. They'll be hyped come Sunday. They'll enter with some momentum and a lot more confidence playing in this A division. Main event rollers. This is going to be a really good game. This is a can't miss. You cannot miss this game. This is going to be a battle. Let's start out with you, Dane.
I think it's gonna be a little closer than expected. Um, I saw a main event player posting on 8-man page looking for pass rushers, saying some main event pass rushers backed out last second. So sounds like they're not gonna be full tilt. So I think the game's gonna be, like you said, a close one. I still think main event pulls it out, but I think it's definitely comes down to the last possession type of shit. Mike D does what he does and pulls out the dub.
All right, Dane's got main event. Ross, who do you got?
Main event.
Main event. You know what? I got main event too. I think they pull it out. I think overall they're the more talented team, the more experienced team, the more ready team. It'll be close, but in the end, they get the dub. Main event with the win. This is going to be a good one. Mike D had a lot of praise for TJ Holston during that Rebels Rollers game. He was giving a lot of praise in the chat comments. Looking forward to seeing them face off for, I believe it will be the first time. I could be wrong on that. If so, let me know. Main event, Elite Rebels. Dame, who do you got?
I think this is gonna be a closer game than people are expecting. Especially if main event are missing some dogs up front against TJ, the way that he moves around in the pocket. Elite Rebels has a decent O line. I think it's gonna be a close game, but once again, I got main event pulling it out. You gotta play almost perfect.
I think I see what you mean. I'm going to try to fix that so it works better. Nope, doesn't come over. All right, never mind. Ross, who do you got?
I got main event.
Main event as well. I'm going to go with main event in a game where it's going to be close. I think this is going to be a closer game than people think. I'm going to go main event by a touchdown, maybe 2 off a late score. I think TJ Holston and company will rise to the occasion. You know, he grew up in a big way in Ocean City. You know, that first game, he did put up 20 on Misfits, but the team struggled. But that's a tough game. You go up against a local team in a tournament who knows your tendencies, who knows how you play. John Regan had TJ Holston in his system before Misfits back in the day, 2 years ago, KFFL. They worked together on BC Elite for a tournament, actually, as well. So he knew the tendencies. Their team knew him, how to play him, and everything else. And I felt like against Lions and Rollers, he brought something to the table where he played his best ball. You got to think they scored 69 points in those 2 games. They averaged 34.5 points against the Lions and the Rollers in those 2 games. Ran a team against SI, but, you know, nothing to be ashamed of. They're going to be ready to go, but I think main event pulls away. Rollers Rebels, we got a rematch. Who do you got, Dane?
Rebels has already done it. I can tell you, once you beat somebody, you have that sort of confidence in you. I have already done it before. TJ's a young quarterback in this 9-man shit. That type of confidence, he needs that shit. So I think that helps put, you know what I mean, Lee Rebels past Rollers. They do it again. They upset them. I guess you can't call it an upset. They beat them twice.
Yeah, at this point, you know, you can't really say that. I feel like it's going to be a bit of a different Rollers team from what we saw in OC, but I'm not so sure if it'll be as good. Well, it depends. You never know what you're going to get in these tournaments. Ross, who do you got?
Rebels.
Rebels. All right. I think Rebels get them as well. I got faith in TJ and company. I think they get the win. Lions Blazers, kind of a bit of a rematch from Rhode Island 2019 in this one. Rob Lane will face the Lions once again in his personal rematch against Different Motion City, albeit on a different squad this time with the Blazers. Fun fact, I believe Rob Lane has won a championship of SI and Lions against the other team both times. Virginia Beach 19 with the Lions over SI, Ocean City 2021 SI over Lions. I don't think anyone's ever done. Has anybody else done that?
I
Nope.
doubt.
Nope. I remember talking to you about that. That man, he don't get enough credit for that.
Yeah, that's a big feat. That's a really big feat. Lions Blazers. Who do you got, Dame?
But I don't know what the Blazers are gonna have, to be honest. I know that the Lions. I know what you're gonna get every tournament. The Lions are gonna be, if they're not in the championship, they lost by a field goal or some shit happened or something. Lions are always there come championship Sunday. I think this is gonna be a close game. I think Rob Lane knows what it takes to beat the Lions. I just don't know if he's gonna have the weapons around him to take care of it. So I'm gonna go with the Lions.
All right, Dame's gonna go with the Lions. Ross, who do you got?
I got the Lions as well.
All right, I'm gonna go Lions as well. I think they'll have a bit more than Blazers. I feel like they'll get away in the end. They'll put up a fight. The Blazers will, but just not enough to beat this Lions squad. Blazers Scorpions. Dame, who do you got?
I think this one's gonna be a good ass game.
I think so too.
I think this is gonna be one of the better matchups on Saturday in the A division. I don't know, man. This is a toss up for us, bro. That being said, yeah, I'm gonna have to go with the Scorpions here, just because I can't go against my DMV Baltimore guys like that.
Ross, who do you got?
We'll go Blazers.
Blazers. All right. I'm gonna go Blazers too. I think Scorpions put up a fight early on, but I think Blazers in the end pull it out. Be one of those games that comes down to the final couple plays, I believe. Lions versus Scorpions. Dame, who do you got?
I got the Lions. Like I said, they're a solid team. You know what you're gonna get. I think the Scorpions use pretty much all their energy trying to take care of that first W. So I think the Lions take care of business, probably by 2 scores in this game.
All right, Ross, who do you got?
We go Scorpions.
Scorpions. All right. I'm gonna go Lions. I'm gonna go Lions. I just don't think No Mercy has enough. Like, this doesn't feel like the same team we watched last year. Like, they had a lot of momentum coming out of winning B at Worlds. And that team we saw at OMFFL, you got to think, they only allowed 1.5 points per game last fall in OMFFL. That's how good that defense was. That defense has not played anywhere near that level this year. It just doesn't feel like it's meshing. And I just think Lions, more experienced team, more seasoned team. They're the better overall team. They'll get the win. Punishers, Misfits. Dame, who do you got?
I think this game's gonna be interesting. I think the Misfits, if possible, if there's any way you can earn respect on a Saturday, I think the Misfits do it in this game. I don't think they necessarily beat the Punishers. I'm not going out on a limb and saying that. But I definitely think they open up a lot of people's eyes. That O line is gonna have to protect Boone. That defense is gonna have to help out, get some turnovers and shit. If they keep it a close game, Boone can pull it off. If the defense gives up some easy scores and Boone feels like he's got to force shit, that's when the mistakes come, and then that's when it'll pile up, and this shit could turn into a 36-12, 36-6 type game in the Punishers' favor. I got the Punishers winning in a close game. Like I said, I think the Misfits come out with the energy, and I think they earn some respect even though they lose, and it's on a Saturday. I think they earn some respect with close L to the Punishers.
Ross, who do you got?
I got Misfits.
All right, Ross has Misfits. I'm going to go with Punishers. I think Misfits, like you said, will rise to the occasion. They'll be ready to go. They're going to put up a hell of a fight. They're going to bring the energy, bring the intensity. I remember Eric yelled to your all sideline when he played you guys at Worlds about how crazy y'all were and how wild y'all were during that game. Wait till he plays the Misfits. It's going to be a different story. If he thought ADR was wild, wait till he sees the Misfits in action.
Yeah, them. You gotta see, like, there's a bunch of them over there that had that same energy, and they just feed off of each other. So once that shit starts going crazy over there, that shit liable to set off, and next thing you know, that's when they get on their runs and shit. So, like I said, it's gonna be a close game. I just don't know if they have exactly what it takes yet to get past the Punisher.
We shall see. Punishers, 148 Outlaws. This is going to be a very, very interesting game. And I say that because, Matt Bailey just asked, what did he miss? Well, Matt, you're right in time if you're still watching. Because this Outlaws team, they're going to have Matt Bailey and the second gen guys on offense with that defense that looked really, really good at Nationals that you, Ross Collins, said was just missing an offense.
Yep.
And the answer has been found. Hope Matt Bailey's all right. I know he got hurt at AFFL last week, but man, was he balling at tight end in that tournament. He was just killing it, dude. Looking forward to seeing him out there for the Outlaws on Saturday. This is going to be an underrated game. This is going to be a tight one. I think they played Punishers at Nationals. Am I correct on that, Ross? Because I think you were on that field. Wasn't that bracket Punishers, Outlaws, and Rollers?
Yep.
Yeah, so bit of a quasi rematch of two different games in this one. So who do you got, Dane? Punishers or the 148 Outlaws?
I think this, like you said, I think it's gonna be a good game. I think the pickups, the additions that Outlaws have made is gonna make this shit very interesting. Fuck. I'm gonna go with the Punishers just because I know I've seen it before. This shit sounds good on paper. Yeah, I mean, like everybody draw up, everybody roster look good in them Facebook group, bruh. Everybody roster look good on them registration. Is when you get out there on that field, how them personalities gonna clash, how's the egos gonna clash. I know what the Punishers can do, so I'm gonna go with the Punishers.
Punishers for Dame. Ross, what do you got?
I got the Punishers as well.
Punishers as well. All right. And I'm going to go Punishers as well. I think they'll finish it out here. It's going to be a close game, though. It's going to come down to the wire. This will not be an easy win for them. It will not be an easy day for Punishers. I think they're going to have some trouble on Saturday, but that's only going to help them come Sunday. Because you always want a good wake-up call Saturday before you head to the real deal on Sunday, so that way you know what you're getting into. Because Money Day is always different. Misfits, Outlaws, Dame, who do you got?
So you gotta say Outlaws have a great defense, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the Misfits gonna pull this one out. I think the fact that they have this unorthodox offense, I think the fact that Chris Boone has really grown from the 5-man game. I think Tay is a weapon out there, a Swiss Army knife. And they got athletes out there. You know, Cannon's going to get his shine on. So I think they're going to put up some points on this Outlaws defense, actually. And I think it's going to turn the Misfits defense. And I think the chemistry the Outlaws don't have with all these new pieces is going to be the difference maker in this one and why Misfits pulled out in a close W.
All right. Misfits there. Ross, who do you get?
I was gonna say you just typed it in.
Yeah, because I was still listening to Dame, and in my head, I just kept going. I just was like, oh, there's a blank spot there.
Going Outlaws.
Outlaws. All right.
Yep.
The 148 Outlaws, right? Not the KFFL Outlaws.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yeah. If it was the 148 Outlaws, I would have Misfits all day. And twice on Sunday.
Yeah, we'll call them the 717 Outlaws. I got Misfits. I think they get the win here. I think they pull it out. They get that Saturday win. They get the momentum going. This squad's got a lot of potential. They got a lot of dogs in the trenches too. And I'm looking forward to seeing what this squad's going to do come AC. Now, that being said, Matt Bailey said, oh boy. Matt Bailey is watching. Matt, if you want to chime in, feel free. I'll put the link in the comments. See what Matt Bailey thinks. Hey, I gave you guys the love, although I do have them going 0-2, so I gotta own up to that. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I got them going on too as well. Oh well, fuck it.
Let's go, dude.
Prove me wrong. I don't give a fuck. Oh, feelings can be hurt. Niggas prove me wrong. I say I fucked up. These motherfuckers come out and go 2-0 and beat Punishers and Misfit. I'm a man in my shit. I'll be like, all right. But as of right now, I ain't seen the shit. So go ahead and show me.
You hear the words from Dame himself. Ross believes in you guys, though, at least against Misfits.
Yeah, see, I think Misfits are going to win the first game and then lose this one because
now you're confusing me. Because did you pick that earlier? Because I saw you picked Punishers. No, you did. You were consistent. All right, I looked at the wrong one. I was looking at the Outlaws thing.
Sure. So I think Misfits are going to win the first one and lose this one because Outlaws are going to lose a tight one against Punishers and come out and win this one. And also a tight game. I think it's going to be a good game. But
Nick Rowland says he'll see y'all Saturday. So that's where he is.
yeah, you've been gone. Anyway, let's do the champion because I'm getting ready to fall asleep. So let's just get this over with.
Well, say, boy, your eyes.
Mr. Drinking since 10 a.m.
Yeah, I'm done.
You got a long 2 days, too, over the weekend. You'll be hitting Field 4 on Saturday with XFL Productions.
I will definitely see the Outlaws and the Misfits.
Ross Collins will be there to take all the flack for what we said tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Your champion game.
We could talk about all our pick. Oh, shit, champion. Fuck. Honestly, my champion has changed within the whole night. Like when you told me we was doing A tonight, I was like, all right, I know who I'm picking. But just sitting here thinking about shit.
Yeah.
I think it's changed. I think I'm gonna have to. Honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. My first pick, I was gonna go with the Lions, but that's changed. I think main event rides the wave they've been ride. Wow, I think I'm hot as shit. I think main event rides the wave they've been riding since that national championship. I think they pull AC out, and I think they hand the business against Lions in the championship game.
All right. Ross, who do you got?
I'm gonna go Misfits.
Oh, Ross going with the
Okay.
Misfits.
Yeah, yeah. I just have a feeling. They're gonna, like I said, I think they're
I'm
gonna
telling
go
you now,
one on Saturday, and I think Sunday they're gonna come out the ball.
Misfits do that shit, and the 9-man world is in trouble.
Yeah,
Letting everybody know now.
Man, could you imagine?
No, I couldn't imagine. These motherfuckers, it wouldn't. Oh no.
You heard it here first.
Nah, I hope they do. Keeping it 100. I hope Memphis pull that shit
we'll
out.
bring Tyler on when they win, if they win.
I just think they few tournaments. I think they're a few tournaments and a few pieces away. Few pieces and a few tournaments under the belt. And I think Memphis can definitely be in that championship one. I just don't think it's yet.
Misfits gonna get 1-1 on Saturday and shock the world on Sunday.
Like I said, I hope they do.
You heard it here first.
I gotta look at something.
What kind of stats you looking at, Joey? The fuck?
I'm looking at a roster sheet.
Oh shit! I need one of them.
I have a feeling he was going main event.
I
mean, they almost have to.
I don't know. There's one guy who, if he's here, if he's back, I don't know his status. I haven't heard from him in months. I don't know what's going on.
I don't think he's back. I don't think he's back, Joey.
You don't think he's
I don't
back?
think he's back.
He's
back.
Because I feel like that's the missing piece for SI right now.
Yeah, no. I feel you. Picks would be changed if that was the case, but I don't think he's back yet, bro. I think he's still taking care.
I think main event reigns supreme. Then I'm gonna go main event. So Dame and I got main event. Ross has Misfits. That's who we got. Let us know how you feel. We'll go back.
I got a question, Joe. Just for shits and giggles, who y'all got Misfits and main event beating in the championship? I told y'all I got main event beating Lions. Who do y'all got?
I got main event over Strong Island.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Misfits over Lions in a rematch.
Misfits over Lions
in a rematch.
Ooh. Now that would be. Yeah. Ross. That would definitely be probably the most exciting shit.
Oh, that's must-see TV there.
Big facts, absolute facts. And we'll be going over everything. This is our last show for AAC for this week at least. We'll do the A recap next Monday night on Blunt Talk. We'll do a B recap on next Tuesday night for Inside the OMFFL. Those will be our last two shows on it. Ross Collins will be live on Field 4 Saturday. Except for the final game, I think you'll be going up to the Rollers and Rebels game.
Yeah.
So that'll be the schedule for that one. I don't know anything else. Otherwise, that's it for AC. I'll see you all on Monday. You all best of luck. Safe travels up there, Rosser. Dame, best of luck this weekend. I know you got a doubleheader in Keystone. You and the Tri-State Spartans. A circuit weekend of your own. 4 games this weekend, 2 in Keystone, 2 under the bridge. We'll see how it goes for everybody. 9-man is back in full throttle this weekend. It's AC. It's lit. It's legit. Here we go. We'll see you on the field. Good night.